Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to talk about why some freedivers exhale before they reach the surface. You can see it during competitions, or if you're watching maybe highly experienced freediver, you can see they do it during the training as well. So today we're going to discuss why they do it and should you do it or not. And before we continue, my name is Sergey, I'm a freediving instructor trainer, and on this channel I'm sharing everything what I personally know about freediving. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Alright, so what you can see sometimes when you're watching the competition, you see the athlete, the freediver, coming close to the surface, and then maybe a few meters below the surface they start slowly exhale, and then when they reach the surface they start with inhaling already. So why they doing this? If you ever watched competitive swimming, then you can see almost the same. The swimmer exhale while their head in the water, and then as soon as the mouth above the surface, then they do inhale. They do this because they don't want to reach the surface, exhale, and only then inhale. It's going to be not effective usage of time, right? So freedivers do the same. Remember, after your long dive, after your hard dive, as soon as you break the surface, you want to immediately start breathing. You want to immediately recover the level of oxygen. And then if you're not exhaling, then when you reach the surface, you're going to exhale first and only then inhale. So you're going to lose, let's say, 1 second. So this is the reason number one. And the reason number two is a little bit more complicated. So those freedivers who do packing, so let's say on one of my previous videos I was discussing packing and why you should not do it as a beginner or intermediate freediver, but let's say highly experienced freedivers, when they do packing, they already overstretching their lungs. So the pressure on the heart from the lungs, from the lung tissues, is already going to be increased, right? So the lungs, first of all, is your chest is expanding, they're pushing the chest out, but they're also compressing your lungs, also compressing the heart. And if you do the deep dive, then what you have during such dive, even if it's not deep dive actually, you're going to have mammalian dive reflex. And remember, part of your mammalian dive reflex is a blood shift. So the blood is going to move into your lungs, obviously not into the alveoli, of course, but they're going to move into your pulmonary capillaries, so the capillaries which is surrounding your alveoli. And this is why the volume of liquid, the volume of blood inside your lungs is going to be higher. So now, because you have mammalian dive reflex, your lungs could not expand to the same size as they was on the surface without compressing the heart even harder. So this is why if such freediver who do especially many packing at the surface, and now they start the dive and they also have a strong mammalian dive reflex, which of course include the blood shift, then the compression on the heart is going to be even higher close to the surface when they're coming up, and then it's going to be blackout. So again, it's hard to find out if it was because of the packing or it is a shallow water blackout because of the partial pressure drops down, but the result is the same. So the freediver have a blackout. To avoid such blackout, they're exhaling a few meters below the surface. So now is really important question: should you exhale below the surface? And my quick answer is no, because as a beginner freediver, first of all, you should not come close to your hypoxic limit. So this is why to spend extra second on the surface before you start inhaling should not be a big problem for you. So now for you, when you come up on the surface and you start with exhale and only then inhale, so if you lose a 1 second or half of the second, it should not be problem in your case, because remember, as a beginner, intermediate, advanced freediver, you should not be hypoxic. If you finish your 30, 40, 50 meter dive and you hypoxic, then you need to learn again the basics. You need to improve your technique, your relaxation, your equalization, slow down your progress, etc., etc. But remember, if you're diving shallow, you should not be hypoxic, period. No, you should not be hypoxic. So this is why losing half seconds should not be a big deal. Another reason again why people do exhale before the surface is because of the packing. And then again, coming back to your level, if you are diving less than 40-50 meters, you should not pack, because what is the reason of packing? You should not be hypoxic, you should not have an equalization problem on these depths, and so on. So if you don't do packing, then of course you don't need to do exhale static, because your lungs is not pressing that hard on your heart. So, but then you can ask, like, okay, Sergey, but what is the problem? Like, why I just not do the same what Alexei Molchanov doing, or like any other top athletes, freedivers? Because guys, I mean, you can, for sure you can, but then don't do it right from the beginning, because you need to exhale not too early, and you also don't want to exhale too much, right? Because again, if you are not really experienced freedivers, for you it's just gonna be easy to mess up a little bit, and then maybe start exhaling at 4 meters or at 5 meters, and probably it's gonna be too deep for you. And also the second reason, what if you're gonna exhale too much? Let's say let's say instead of exhaling just a little bit to allow to inhale immediately on the surface, let's say you exhale 2 times more, and then you're gonna lose your consciousness because of this. So guys, as you can see, it can be tricky. So this is why, my opinion, you can share it or not, but my opinion is don't exhale unless you are more or less experienced freediver. So if you're diving less than, I don't know, like less than 6 months, probably you don't need to do exhale static, probably. Again, if you want to do it, you can, but there is not that much benefits which you're gonna get. I mean, I get the idea that you want to practice it early, and then like slowly like keep your habits, okay, maybe, but again, in my personal opinion, it's not necessary. It can be potentially dangerous, right? So if you decide to do it, if you decide like, okay, I'm diving to 20 meters, but I want to do the same as a top level freedivers, all right, I couldn't stop you, but at least do it under direct supervision of highly experienced freediver. Maybe your instructor trainer, or maybe your highly experienced freediving friend, because again, if you do it, if you do exhale before you reach the surface, the chance of the blackout is going to be higher. So you really want to have someone really experienced who's going to deal with it. Again, ideally don't do it too early, but if you decide to do it, make sure your safety body is legit, is strong, and can do the rescue for you in a bad situation. Okay guys, this is it. This was my short video about should you do exhale static before the surface or not, why elite freedivers do it. So thank you very much to watching till the end. Hopefully this video was useful. If you like this video, don't forget to click the like button, and I will see you next time.